When I was in high school, I decided that I wanted to learn to speak Spanish. I needed the credits. It was a language that had always interested me, and a really good family friend was the teacher at my high school. So, in my freshman year of high school, I signed up for Spanish class. I stayed in Spanish for all 4 years, all through high school, and when I received my mission call during my senior year to serve in Chile speaking Spanish, I was extremely happy. I knew that the 4 years of learning words and conjugations and sentence structure would pay off. I was going to live in a country where I'd be immersed in this language completely, so I was excited to be able to use this skill that I'd picked up in high school. When I got to the Missionary Training Center in Mexico City, I was ahead of most of my peers in my ability to speak Spanish, and I learned the material and language faster and seemingly easier. Unfortunately, many people don't have the opportunity to learn a foreign language or don't take the opportunities that are afforded to them simply because it isn't required, or it's not available, or it's just easier to take another class to get the credits that you need. I believe that learning a foreign language should be required in schools today. I think that we should learn foreign languages for several reasons. First, the world that we live in today is a very global world, with many opportunities to interact with people from all over the world at our very fingertips. Worldwide travel has never been easier, except for maybe right now. And many people even live permanently in countries different than their birth. Second, as people grow up and experience life, it can help them gain a career and give them experiences they otherwise wouldn't have. And third, most countries outside of the US do require students to learn English at a young age. And my fourth reason is that not only does knowing another language help you to communicate, but it can also help you to know the meaning of someone who is speaking English as a second language. So we live in a global world. Living in America, we can travel to just about any country, and knowing how to communicate with the people while we're traveling can help a lot. Statista.com said that in 2019, there were almost 38 million US citizens who traveled to different countries. And in 2018, there were even more than that, with almost 42 million Americans leaving the country. The United States has people from all over the world living here, and being able to communicate can help them and us to have a better experience with this. According to the Pew Research Center, more than 40 million people living in the US were born in another country. Out of the 327 million people in America, 40 million are from other countries, which is about 13% of the US population. Based on this statistic, nearly 1 out of every 10 people is from another country and potentially speaks another language than English, and we could have the opportunity to interact with those people on a daily basis. Learning another language gives people experiences otherwise unavailable to them. Speaking multiple languages can make you more valuable to employees. It can give you a better chance at landing a job, and it helps you to be able to earn more money. Because so many companies are doing business on a global scale and online with companies throughout the world, they're hiring employees who can speak multiple languages. According to salary.com, language differentials typically range between 5 to 20% more per hour than the base rate, meaning you'll get paid more simply for knowing a second language and being able to use that in the workplace. Learning a foreign language helps you to meet people you otherwise wouldn't. Meeting people who are from different cultures can help give knowledge and experience. When we get to know people from different cultures, we get to learn about their beliefs, their country, and their practices. When we are able to learn these things, we can relate better to those around us and we can create lasting friendships. Most of the countries outside of the United States do require students to start learning English at a young age. According to the Pew Research Center, almost every single country in Europe requires students as young as 6 years old to learn a foreign language. Normally, They learn English because it is such a universal language. Schools in the United States should begin programs like this to help children gain the skills that come from learning another language. I have an 11-year-old cousin who started learning German in school when he was just 6 years old. Every day, they spend about half of the day just speaking German. In talking to his mom about it, she told me that she has seen that he's been able to develop more confidence in himself, and it's helped him to perform better on standardized testing. And there are many studies and lots of research that has gone into this. Learning at such a young age helps to form the language in a student's mind. So starting at a young age helps it to stick better, and they're able to develop it better. Countries also have their students learn how to speak another language because learning to communicate in another language helps develop other communication skills besides just speaking the language. Learning how to speak another language will also help you to be able to better understand non-native English speakers. Sentence structure is extremely different in different languages and can make translations mean different things, and it can change the meaning of a sentence. Some languages hold important information at different parts of the sentence, so it is important to pay attention to this when speaking to someone who isn't a native in the same language as you. For example, if you're speaking Spanish and you say, "I love you" to a friend, you'd say "te quiero," which has the same meaning, but if you literally translate "te quiero," that means "you, I want." This is just one small example, but if we can understand this, then speaking to someone in English who's learned it as a second language will make much more sense, and we can help them to learn the language. As you can see, there are so many reasons to learn a foreign language, and what better place to start than in the schools that we already attend. By requiring all students to be involved in a foreign language, everyone would know how to connect with the people around them and around the world. More people would be open to life-changing opportunities and better career opportunities. We would also be more caught up to the rest of the world, and our understanding of foreigners would increase so we can be more welcoming. And this is why I think that we should introduce it as a mandatory thing to learn foreign languages in school. Thank you.